Have you ever told everyone about a big dream you had, something you were incredibly excited about? And then, did you notice what happened next? Strangely, when we talk too much about our dreams, they often become harder and harder to reach. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there lived a young man named Simon. Simon was full of dreams, big ones, and it seemed like every week he started something new. One week, he wanted to open the biggest shop in town. The next, he decided he would learn pottery and become a master artist. Then he announced a plan to build a beautiful house for his family. But Simon had one habit that always held him back. Before he ever began anything, he told everyone. He would walk right into the middle of the marketplace and announce proudly, "I am going to open the biggest, most wonderful shop in this entire village." And the people would clap. They'd smile and tell him how brilliant he was. Simon felt so important, so validated. That night, he would sleep peacefully, filled with the warmth of their praise. But the next morning, when it was time to actually start the hard work, his energy was just gone. Days turned into weeks, and the shop was never opened. Soon enough, Simon had a brand new dream. He gathered the villagers once more and said, "I will make the most beautiful pottery you have ever seen. Everyone will want to buy from me." Again, the people praised him. He felt that familiar rush of pride. This pattern continued for years. Simon would announce every single dream he had. The villagers would celebrate his words, but his hands stayed empty. His life never changed. Simon started to feel a profound sense of shame. He couldn't understand why he always failed. His heart grew heavy, and he felt completely and utterly stuck. One evening, Simon sat all alone by an old stone well. An elder from the village, a man known for being quiet and humble, approached him. People respected this elder, even though he rarely spoke. He sat down beside Simon and asked gently, "My son, why do you look so troubled?" Simon let out a long sigh. "I have so many dreams, but I never finish anything. I just don't know what's wrong with me." The elder nodded slowly, as if he understood. "Tell me," he said, "what do you do when you have a new idea?" Simon answered quickly, "Oh, I tell everyone. I want them to know what I'm planning. I want them to be proud of me." The elder smiled softly. "Come with me tomorrow morning. There is something I want to show you." The next day they met in the elder's small, peaceful garden. The elder held 2 identical seeds in his hand. He gave one to Simon. "Plant this in the ground," he said. Simon dug a small hole with his fingers, placed the seed inside, and carefully covered it back up with soil. Then the elder lifted the second seed high into the air and called out to some children playing nearby, "Look, everyone, I have a seed. Soon this seed will become a great and mighty tree." The children clapped their hands and smiled. The elder then placed the seed on top of a flat rock and simply left it there, exposed to the open air. Days passed. Every morning, the elder would quietly water the spot where the first seed was buried in the soil. He never said a word about it to anyone. After a while, a tiny green shoot bravely pushed its way through the dirt. Week after week, it grew stronger and taller. Meanwhile, the second seed, the one left out on the rock, never changed. It just sat there, drying up in the hot sun. Birds came and pecked at it. And soon, it had disappeared completely. One day, Simon stood beside a small, healthy plant growing strong from the ground. The elder spoke to him gently. "A seed needs silence to grow. It needs the darkness of the soil. It must stay hidden to gather its strength." He paused, letting the words sink in. "If you leave it out in the open and talk about it, it dries up. It gets stolen by the birds. It never becomes a tree." In that moment, something shifted deep inside Simon. The elder continued, "When you share your dreams too early, you feel proud before any of the work is done. The praise from others tricks your mind into thinking you've already succeeded. And so," he finished, "the fire you need to act disappears. Your energy is wasted on words, not on work." Simon felt the truth of the elder's words wash over him. Every time he announced a dream, the applause felt like the finish line. He felt a sense of accomplishment without ever actually starting. The elder placed a warm hand on his shoulder. "Dreams are fragile at the beginning, like a tiny seed. You must protect them. Keep them quiet. Let them grow in the soil of your effort. not in the air of public opinion. When the tree is strong and bears fruit, everyone will see it. You won't need to announce it. That night, Simon made a decision. He chose one simple, manageable goal: to build a wooden chair. And this time, he told no one. Every single evening, after his other chores were done, he worked quietly in his shed with his tools. Some days were exciting and full of progress. Other days were exhausting and frustrating. But no one questioned him. No one expected anything from him. He was free to work in peace. Weeks passed. The chair slowly began to take shape. He made mistakes, of course, but he patiently fixed them. He was learning, and one day it was finished. Simon sat down on the chair he had built with his own 2 hands, and he felt something neural pride. Not the fleeting pride of empty words, but the deep, lasting pride of real work. Soon a neighbor happened to see the chair. "This is beautiful," he said, running his hand over the smooth wood. "When did you make this?" Sigh. Simon just smiled softly. "I've been working on it for a little while." Word began to spread naturally. People came to admire his craftsmanship. But by then, Simon was already starting his next project, in silence. Years went by, and Simon became known throughout the region as a skilled and respected craftsman. Not because he ever talked about his plans, but because he built things. His actions spoke far louder than his words ever could. Now think about your own life. How many goals have you announced to the world only to lose the energy to ever pursue them? How many of your dreams have faded away simply because they were shared too early? When you speak too soon, you give away your power. You trade the real satisfaction of effort for the temporary approval of others. So protect your dreams. Keep them quiet. Let your work do the talking when it's ready. The world doesn't need to hear what you're building. It only needs to see what you have built. Let your seed grow in silence. When the tree is strong, everyone will notice without you needing to say a single word. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And subscribe for more stories that help us see life in a new way. Thank you for listening.